get my microphone. I forgot mic technique. Okay, so I wanted to tell you guys about these coupons because I got this Bed Bath and Beyond coupon. You can see I cut out my information over here. Now the thing about this coupon is when people see it, people might think like, and I'll show you the backside of this. See, it's like this big Bed Bath and Beyond $15 off of $50. When people get these kind of coupons, they probably think to themselves like, "Oh man, this is great. You know, this is about a 30% savings, right? $15 off of 50. Oh, let me go and check out Bed Bath and Beyond because I can get something for 30% off." Now, I would recommend if you guys get any of these coupons, please think clearly and please ask yourself, do you really need this stuff? Because although you might be saving $15, and notice that they're stressing you're saving $15, if you look closely, it says you save $15 on any purchase of $50 or more. This means that you must spend $35 in order to get that $15 savings, right? So, right, if you want to save not just $15, but if you want to save $50, don't use a coupon, chuck the coupon away and ask yourself, was there something that you really needed from Bed Bath & Beyond? Is there something that you're really craving to spend possibly $50 on? If not, just throw the coupon away. You know, put it in your recycle bin. We don't have a recycle bin. I do want to share with you guys another tip as well. So I was telling you guys in one of my previous streams that for tea, I like using these kind of tea canisters. See this? So I have a little bit of rickshaw over here. It's a type of tea. It's a brand tea. And they use this for milk tea. This is not rickshaw. This is something else. But I like keeping it in these containers because I think it looks more elegant. It also keeps it a little bit more fresh, in my opinion. Now, you can see I've had this container for a couple years. It does have what appears to be a little bit of rust on the outside. However, when you look on the inside, it is perfectly fine. Now, I wanted to point this thing out to you because I bought one of these like tins. This is a tin that I've had in storage for a while next to this one. Now, the outside looks a little busted, but the inside is also rusted too. And I couldn't figure out why because I haven't exposed this to water. So this is going to go off into the recycle bin. But I just wanted to share that if you do repurpose a container like this one, see this? You might have a little bit of rust stains in there. I don't know what causes it. But if you do want to keep tea in here, I would recommend keep them inside of the original package and then just put it inside of here. So I don't know why this one doesn't have any of the rust stains, but this one clearly shows that there's some sort of corrosion, I guess galvanized corrosion. Maybe you guys can tell me what the reason for that is. But I just wanted to share it with you guys because I really like keeping teas in these kind of containers instead of like the original pouches. This works fine, but you know, I'd rather have everything off in like one thing. So most likely I'll just keep this in here. And that way, if I want to check out my teas, you know, I have all my little small teas in kind of these kind of containers. It also looks kind of nice, does it not? These kind of containers, if you guys don't buy this kind of stuff, you know, Illy brand capsules, you can ask around, you know, your friends, check to see your local recycle bin if they have any of that stuff. Because sometimes people just chuck this in the recycle bin. This is how I got mine's. And it's, you know, it's a great way of upcycling as well. So this is going to go off into my local recycle bin. This one I'm keeping, this one I'm keeping. And I hope that my little tips help you guys because I don't want you guys spending money unnecessarily on stuff, you know, reuse, upcycle, that kind of thing. Maybe you guys can enjoy your milk tea. Yeah, I like my milk tea a little strong. It doesn't have any sugar in it. I really just use just really strong tea, and I use evaporated milk, and that's it. So let's see over here. So Luke says, I hate stuff like that. I'll never spend enough to use vouchers like that. I thought I got a $100 version. I don't think I ever. Yeah, they try to incentivize you they say, okay, you know, focus on the $15. Don't focus on the $50. And the bad side about that kind of stuff is like, you know, people will go into these stores with the intention, they say, I must spend $50 so I can save the $15. I know this from personal experience because I used to be that kind of person. I used to get these kind of coupons and say, oh, I got to go to Bed Bath & Beyond. Oh, I'm going to use my $15 coupon. And then I would say, okay, I got to buy all this stuff so I can get $50 worth. And then I could use this coupon. Now, thankfully, at Bed Bath & Beyond, when I went there, I looked at some of the prices and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so pricey. I might as well just go to Ross or TJ Maxx or Marshall's. And then instead of being forced to pay $50, I might just buy, let's say, a jewelry organizer, for example, right, for about $15. And then although I spent $15, at least I'm not spending $35. So this is the kind of thing that I'm thinking about, right? Do not focus on the cost savings. Focus on the amount that you have to spend in order to use those kind of coupons. I haven't heard of T2, and yeah, I do know that there are people who do these extreme couponers. They stack deals. I used to be a person who used to use a lot of coupons back in the day. I used to be the person who goes in the Sunday newspaper, clips out on the coupons, and I'm like, oh, wow, look, this is on sale. Yeah, if I hold on to this coupon, I can save 50 cents off of this $3 item. Okay, hold up. Let me wait till I see that product on sale. Let's give an example. Sunscreen, right? I got to wait until copper tone sunscreen goes on sale, and then I'll use this coupon to get 50 cents off. So instead of paying $5 for the sunscreen, maybe if it goes on sale for $4, then I'll use my 50 cent off coupon, and then I'll get it for $3.50. Now, when I was younger, I had more time to think about this stuff. Now, for me, I kind of look at it. I'm like, why am I going to spend possibly 3 to 4 weeks? Because, sales rotate, right? Why would I spend 3 to 4 weeks just to save 50 cents? So that's why you see me err on the side of, do I really need it? Do I truly want to buy this, or am I just buying this because of the sake of perceived cost savings? And for me, I don't really coupon at all. You don't see me clipping out coupons anymore. I'd say 99.5% of the time, because I'm not going out of my way to get these coupons. And a lot of time when I get these coupons, I can see it for what it is. Save 50 cents, but spend $3 with us. Or $3.50 with us, so you can save that. Right? Or save $3 so you can save the 50 cents. So although I have a 50-cent cost savings, or actually a dollar cost savings, it's just, it's that kind of stuff. It's like you gotta think about the money in that way. And it's kind of sneaky, in my opinion, because people like to focus on saving money instead of spending money in terms of like coupon, right? Like save the $15. But if you guys are hemorrhaging a lot of money out, and you guys are wondering, like, how come my bills are so high? I've been couponing. I've been looking at sales. Ask yourself, like, why are you even buying the sale stuff? Can you avoid the sale stuff? And can you live a little bit more minimalistically? Instead of buying stuff new at Bed Bath & Beyond, my recommendation would be buying things secondhand, pre-owned, going to thrift stores, garage sales, swap meets, eBay, Mercari, Etsy, Poshmark. Those places, you can get things for a fraction of the price. In fact, I should be getting in some vintage earrings within the next week or so, and I paid, I think, about $15 for them. I think it's a really good piece. I hope it looks really good in person. Well, I'll have to see, but I like it because if I had gone to a store and bought earrings of the same kind of material, same kind of quality, it would be more than $15, for instance, right? Let's say I want to buy amethyst earrings, amethyst stone earrings. If I go to a store, you think it would be $15? No, it would probably be $45 or so. Yesterday I went to go grab dinner. I went to Ala Shopping Center. You guys are familiar with that place. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Competent Man. Thank you for the donation. I mean, I'm not saving money when I use all my coupons I get. The problem is I usually have the things The problem I have is usually the things I want have none at wetsuit. All the place bombarded with coupons that exclude wetsuit. Yeah, that's the thing about some of these coupons, right? If you want to use, let's say for Macy's, sometimes they'll say, oh, it excludes designer handbags or excludes jewelry. You guys know what I'm talking about. Like if you ever see the Macy's Sunday coupons, they have a huge list of exclusions. I don't think you can use some of these like save 20% coupons on on specific things because they say, hey, we're not going to be making that much profit margin or we don't want this item to ever go on sale. So yeah, like that kind of stuff. If you want to buy a wetsuit, you can buy it on the pre-owned market. I have known because Hawaii is a tropical place. We do have oceans. I've known people who buy scuba gear and whatnot all pre-owned, and sometimes they can get really good deals. I know people who buy, let's say for instance, spear guns. They will buy it for a fraction of the price new because it's pre-owned. And a lot of the times if you go to, let's say, a swap meet or um, a garage sale, if you have someone who says, hey, I have, let's say, a spear gun or I have scuba gear, and then they see someone else who's interested in that scuba gear. This person doesn't look like a reseller, they're not buying a bunch of stuff. They're like, hey, I could definitely use your those fins, for example, right? A lot of the times people will be willing to cut a deal or give it for a good price because they'll say, hey, yeah, I'm trying to get rid of my stuff. Yeah, maybe it's worth, let's say, $200, but I'll let it go for $20. Like they might know what the retail price is, but because there's maybe not too many buyers for scuba fins or something like that, they'll have it at a significant discount as well. And you don't, sometimes people haggle, sometimes people don't haggle. I remember um, a while back, this is like years ago, someone who I know who is like very much into ocean sports, and so they were telling me about their really good find that they found, and I was like, okay, so what is it? And they said that they had gone to, I believe, a swap meet, and they came across someone selling their scuba dive gear, and I said, oh, okay, cool. And then they told me they got these fins, and I'm not familiar with scuba diving fins at all, but they got these fins that were worth like $200, and they know that because they're familiar with like brands or some sort of like a bunch of like scuba. It's kind of like if you're into, let's say, model air would be more premium model airplane than like a not so premium airplane, but they said they got it for a really really cheap price. I forgot how much it was, but I distinctively remember they were super happy that they got these pair of like scuba diving fins for really really cheap, and they would have never spent that much money on fins. I think it was a $200 fin, but it might have been more expensive. I can't remember, but it was something like you could tell when you look at it. It's not those like typical black fins. You know what I'm talking about? It wasn't like was it Scuba Pro or something like that? It wasn't that brand. It was some other brand, but they were beautiful fins. I don't know if they're still using it, but I distinctly remember they were very happy to find those fins. So all those things, right? Yeah. So check and see in the pre-owned market instead of saving, let's say, 20%. If you buy pre-owned, you could save 50%, 70%, 90%, and you help other people who are trying to declutter their stuff, and then you get a really good deal as well. I feel like there's no stigma about buying pre-owned because a lot of the times if you're buying pre-owned, you got to follow the money. Where's the money going to? If you're buying it from a thrift store, right? Sometimes these thrift stores, they're, let's say, charity related. So let's say you have like a like it's like some kind of like cancer related thrift store. Whatever money they make, it goes off to helping the program. A lot of these smaller thrift stores, like I like to uh, frequent, they're run by volunteers. So I don't really like going to a for profit. I don't like going to Savor so much. But anything that's like a church related thrift store, I really like supporting because I feel like, it's a good cause. And it's a way to prevent items from going into the landfill and then also save money as well. I don't think there's anything bad about that stuff either because, like, take back in the day. If you guys ever, like, remembered, back in the day before online shopping and so before the real rise of consumerism, I feel like a lot of people, if you guys remember growing up, you would get like a trash bag full of clothes, and it would be from your cousins, right? Your aunts or your uncles would be like, oh, so and so cousin grew out of this clothes. Do you want the clothes? Here, they give it to your parents, and then your parents are like, oh, look, it's some great shirts or some great toys. And then you use it, and then after you're done using it, then the big bag of stuff goes off to another cousin or something like that. So I see it no different than that. And I grew up with hand-me-downs from family members, cousins, that sort of thing. And I'm perfectly fine. It's like when you're done with an item, just pass it forward. So you guys see, right? I do donate a number of things. I do declutter. I do give things away for free. But I also pick up a lot of things for free. I haven't really been picking up so much free stuff like I was before, for sure, because I've been on this whole path of minimalism. But I'm just like putting it out there because it's better to rehome an item to another person directly, in my opinion, than give it off to charity. So Frederick, Frederic says it correctly. Coupons are nice when the item you want is on it too. Yeah, so if you want to like buy a specific item and it's on sale and you've been looking forward to it, like by all means, go and buy it with the coupon. However, if it's not something that's a high priority item, if it's something, let's say, if it's something that you could buy at a thrift store, like a sauce container or so, like you don't need to buy this thing new. There's so many of them. Basically a lot of my dishware that I have, it was all pre-owned. So I got them, like that one, for instance, I got it from a garage sale over like 15 years ago. Yeah. Can you believe it? That little sauce container is over 15 years old. I think maybe one or two of them broke over time. You accidentally drop it. But when you buy it pre owned and it breaks, you're like, oh, crap. But you're not paying full price for it. So it's perfectly fine. This kind of thing. Yeah, Emily, I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well as oh, I hope you're doing well too. Oh my goodness, finals already. Do you guys remember like Emily was saying that she just got into the nursing school, I believe, and then she was excited about that and now she's into finals. Oh my gosh, I feel so old. I remember when I used to go into finals too. So stressful. Yeah, I hope you do really well on your finals. By the way, in case any of you guys are studying for college or studying for any exam, you want to know the way to get like almost straight A's? You have to study a week in advance. So look into the content a week in advance, and here's what I do. Before I go to sleep, right? 5 minutes, but when I'm lying in bed, I'm already kind of like, I'm trying to go to sleep kind of thing. I whip out my notes, I whip out my textbook, and then I just start reading it. So before I go, while I'm like in the bed, I'll just be like, okay, so the definition of this is this, and then I'll try to remember like definition of this is da 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 da, and definition of this is da 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 da, and then I'll just like keep it in my mind, and mysteriously when I wake up, I remember. I keep that information in my head, so you can imagine, right? It's like I'll remember like a small portion of it, and then the next day I'll do the same thing, and then I'll keep more and more in my head. So by the time finals comes in, I'm not doing an all-nighter. I'm like, dude, I've been studying this like every night for the last, week, and I'm refreshed. I'm not sleep deprived at all, and I feel like a lot of the stuff is like concretely in my head. I used to do an all-nighter before when I was in college, and I found out that I quickly got burned out. I used to be that person, like if I don't get enough sleep, like if I stay up until, let's say, 5 a.m. or so, mysteriously enough, I start getting like a runny nose. So I used to have like a terrible, terrible, terrible runny nose, like nonstop runny nose during my finals. And I just be so exhausted, right? So it was just not sustainable for me. So I just came up with this whole thing, this system where I just look at my note cards, or I start studying 5 minutes before the week. Start 5 minutes a day while in bed, at least 5 minutes, right? Just like 5 minutes, at least 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes, just lying in bed, trying to go to sleep, and I just remember all these definitions, and it really does work. You might not think it works, but trust me, it works. I got almost all straight A's when after I started doing that technique, and yeah, I was just very much. Uh, I remembered a lot of stuff, but I don't keep the stuff in my brain forever. But it was a lot more solidified than trying to cram all the stuff in like 24 hours or 48 hours. Ooh, long story short, just left Saber. So if you guys are not familiar with Long Story Short is a reseller. And I believe I can't click on it right now, but I believe they have a bunch of YouTube videos about some of their finds, and I was like, "Ooh, that looks pretty cool." Now I'm not a reseller. I used to actually resell stuff on eBay, believe it or not. But the reason why I stopped is with that kind of stuff, you're not guaranteed to sell it right away, right? So some of the items that you have, you might be holding on to it for a couple months, and then it's just, yeah, I didn't like it because I'd have things that were unsold, and I'd be like, oh crap, I can't sell it for whatever reason, and then I gave it away, or I gave it back to, my local thrift store or whatnot, and I didn't want to get into that cycle, so that's why I rather just do, you know, passive investments. Investments like stocks rather than like resell stuff. That's just me. But when I'm talking about reselling stuff, I'm talking about like collectibles and things like that. If you're selling small items, like let's say you're selling bracelets, then you don't really have to worry too much. Then saying like, okay, let me sell this antique statue, or let me sell this like collectible this or that, or collectible cup or something like that, or clothes, right? Sometimes clothes, you might buy clothes and you think it's a really good deal, but then sometimes the buyer could be like, oh, it's a little too small, or oh, it doesn't, I want to return it, it doesn't match me, that kind of, it's just, oh. Yeah. Wow, look at long story short hustling over here. I'm pretty sure a lot of the stuff, like long story short, from what I've seen, it's a lot more resellable than the stuff like I see locally. When I was reselling stuff, again, I was mostly finding collectibles. I was like, oh, this is kind of nice and this is kind of nice, but I don't know if I don't think I ever told you guys. I bought this one item. It was what was it? It was like a collectible item, very, 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 very unique. Like you can kind of tell, right? So it was like a Disney related item. It's like a hat, okay? And I remember I sold it to someone here in Honolulu, and I thought like, oh, that's kind of strange. Like, wow, they want to buy this hat, and I sold it, and then I saw the person. I saw a person wearing the same freaking hat that I resold at the place that I worked at. And I thought to myself, holy crap, I'm pretty sure this is the same hat that I resold because it was just very distinctive. I think I bought it for about $3 and then I resold it for about $30 or so. So, yeah, they probably were like, oh, this is great. This is a unique hat. But for me, I was like, hey, I'm going to make $27. But, things like that. It's like you got to store the stuff and sometimes it just doesn't work out. And then you end up with like, you just gotta like get rid of it because it's just taking up too much space. No, I mean like it's pretty obvious I'm in Hawaii. Like this countertop is not part of what you see in Oh, what you see in New York, right? I've shown you guys. I don't know. Actually, I didn't show you guys stuff in Hawaii. Oh, talking about it, right? I know this is gonna get off track. This is gonna be a really long stream, but there was a place. Man, you know what? Actually, I'm not gonna talk about it in this stream, but there is a huge lawsuit that's happening in Hawaii. If you guys are familiar with Hawaii, there's this thing called like Shurikia Village, Shurikia like village. It's basically like a big area, think like a food court, but they have like little kiosk of food, so they might sell like takoyaki, shave ice, pasta, just like little street little food vendors, not street vendors, food vendors. And I used to go there a lot back when I was living in Hawaii. And yeah, my cardio back when I was living in Hawaii was really shopping. It would be like, okay, I'm done with work. Let me go to Ala Moana. Let me look around. Let me see if what the stores have. And I walk into the stores. Ooh, that's a pretty necklace. And then I just look at it. 99% of the time, I wouldn't buy anything unless it was food. And the Shurkia Village Mark. I don't know if it's Shurkia Village. They it was, a pretty big thing in the mall, but because of the lockdown, because of the shutdown, right? They were forced to close the stores. I don't know why they closed that food court and not the main Makai food court. Oh, man, people probably be like, Erica, you're from Hawaii. How can you? I cannot remember the name. Okay, so they have two food courts open, but the Shurikia Village Mart, for whatever reason, they didn't keep it open. I don't know why. I think maybe because they had too many people in too close of an area, and because if you guys are familiar with, let's say, the seating there, it's just like it's like small tables with like four benches. Everybody's kind of close, so it's kind of like crammed. It's not like 6 foot distancing. Okay, so they did not pay rent because of the shutdown, and allegedly this place owes $21 million. Yeah, $21 million in back rent. Oh my gosh, I was just like floored. I was like, really? So I was getting the scoop about things that were going on in like Ala Moana shopping center yesterday. And I was just so surprised. I thought, wow. And then there was this other place as well. I'll do a whole separate stream about it. I got to do some research and I'll tell you guys about the little details here. But I was just so shocked. I said, wait a second. So this food court is in back rent arrears for $21 million. And I think they had maybe about 50 stores in there. Right? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was more than that. But I think it was like 50 stores in there. So 50 stores shut down for what, 1.5 years? $21 million. Oh, sucks. Sucks. So expensive. So it was just so pricey. No, 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 no. Let's see. I'm on data actually. You want me to be honest? Like I'm on data right now. Whenever I do these streams, I'm always on data because if I don't go on data, it'll cut off for whatever reason. But yeah, no, I don't want to do no antiques roadshow. If anybody does it, it will definitely be a long story short. I'm not well versed in a lot of antiques. I just kind of look at things and I'm like, ooh, this looks cool. Oh, this looks like it's collectible. Oh, if it has, let's say, vintage this or vintage that, it must be collectible. But I don't want to waste my time on that kind of stuff anymore. Like buying stuff, reselling it, and then holding on to it for a couple months, and then if I don't have a use for it, right, and it's just sitting there, and it's like you just waste so much money, kind of thing. Oh, I forgot to tell you what one of my biggest collectibles that I have is. Let me see if I can grab it. You guys are gonna laugh, okay? You guys are gonna laugh about this. You're like, really, Erica? Okay. So I actually got this back when it first came out. Crap. And I've been storing it for like a long time. I got all this dust on top. Okay, here we go. If you know, you know. Pepsi Perfect, if you guys are familiar with this. Do you guys remember this? Look at this. I've been holding on to it for 6 years. October 21st, 2015. This is the authentic one. I haven't opened it at all. But yeah, you guys can look it up. It's the Pepsi Perfect. I think it was Back to the Future. It was, they sold it for, I think, $20 online. And yeah, I just held on to it. I was like, I don't even really like Back to, oh, here's how it looks like. See that? So this thing over here, this is how it looks like. See? It's a little plastic Pepsi Perfect thing. So if you guys are familiar with that, yes, I have the thing. And I'm just like holding on to it because I think like to myself like, hey, I might actually have a use for that thing in the future. Yeah, Pepsi Perfect. It's sold on Amazon. There was a limited amount of them. I got one, and then I heard about. I forgot how I heard about it, but I remember when it came out. I was like, I gotta buy it. I gotta buy it, and I was very lucky that I was able to get one of them. And then I also. Yep, that's it. Okay. So that was it. Yeah, so that Pepsi Perfect thing. That's one of the things like I never opened it. You know, I have this thing with certain collectibles. I don't open it, I don't touch it or anything like that. Um the other thing I would recommend to you guys, and this is just, this is getting way too off topic, but I'll just talk about it anyway because I'm getting into collectibles. I would recommend if you guys can, like, invest, not invest into it, but like, if you guys are collecting, let's say, anime figurines, like a lot of this stuff keeps its value. So this is a Hatsune Miku one, and I have like 60 figurines. I have like so many figurines. I have not only this one, I only have like two of them unboxed. And then, so this is one of my figurines over here. And then this is my other one. I think I should probably put a decency cloth on her. She's wearing a bikini, but I know how YouTube is, so I'll just put a decency cloth on her over here. So see this? So this is my little Boma. It's got a glitter and glamours Boma. Yes, she's wearing a bikini, okay? She has a bikini on here. But yeah, she looks like this, and I really, really like her. And one thing cool about these figurines is they don't make them all the time. So if you have a figurine, and I wouldn't recommend this, okay, if you're not into figurines. After they're no longer made, a lot of the times, right, the price goes up. Assuming that it's not like super mass produced. Like if it's a limited time, again, if it's a limited time, like it's like only a holiday season, or let's say it's like the 2020 edition for so and so figurine kind of thing, it holds its value. So some of these figurines that I have, originally they were, I think, $20 or so, and now some of them are over $125 each. But I collected them because I really like figurines. But it's just like one of those things where if someone like asks like, why do you have so many freaking figurines, Erica? It's kind of like, partially I really like the figurines. Other part of it is that I understand that if I keep them in box, kind of like a Funko thing, if you guys are familiar with Funkos, you keep them in box, they have more value. So you keep them inside of the box, make sure that they're away from the elements. Ideally, put them in storage containers. I know some people think this is so strange for me to say it like that, right? Keep your figurines inside of the original box. Don't open them. Keep the figurines, like if you want to put them in like a cabinet or storage boxes and that kind of stuff. Like you really have to like think about box condition. So I got into figurines after I got into Funkos, and I got rid of all my Funkos. I got tired of all the freaking Funkos. At some point, I was really into Funko collecting, but I got out of Funkos because I got creeped out by all those eyes. If you guys have ever seen a line of Funkos, like kind of like a stack of them, you'll see all the freaking evenly spaced eyes, and it just looks very creepy. Like look it up, like Funko collection. Look at the eyes. Look at all the eyes. It's like the same kind of eye spacing. It's creepy. So I got rid of my Funkos, and I know certain people, they have like so many Funkos. Like they really are into collecting Funkos. Again, I'm not into it. I wouldn't collect anything that I'm not really into or I'm kind of creeped out by. So Funkos is not really for me. But yeah, Funko people really get into box condition. They buy pop protectors and things like that. And it can be a really, really big. I don't understand the Funko collecting. I used to be into it, but I'm not into the Funko collecting now. But I get it, you know? So yeah, but yeah, the Funko people, there's some Funkos that are super rare. I remember I used to go to conventions before, and then there was this one person, they had a huge Funko collection. I remember they were trying to sell this one Funko. I can't remember what the Funko was, okay? But it was like a early Funko, kind of like a limited edition one, and they were trying to sell it for $1,000. $1,000, you guys, for a Funko. And I just thought to myself, I thought, like, look, I know some people are really into this stuff, but I can't drop $1,000 on a Funko figurine. And I know some people will get really kind of irked about this because they'll say Funkos are collectible. Yeah, but Funkos, I feel like I just like for me, I don't like Funkos enough to drop $1,000 on a Funko. So yeah, it's just I got out of Funkos around I think Winter Soldier time. Winter Soldier, yeah, around there. If you guys remember that year, I can't remember what year that was, but yeah, yeah, I think the last Funko, one of the last Funkos I collected was no. Golden, was it Golden Frieza or something like that? Golden Frieza, I think, is around the time I stopped collecting. Golden Frieza or Glitter Hatsune Miku at Hot Topic, if you guys remember what year that is. Oh, I can't remember off the life of me. But yeah, all that stuff, right? So yeah, I like collecting Japanese figurines, but I don't collect any more figurines. I have enough figurines. I don't need 60 figurines with me till the day I die, but I hold on to them because I think to myself, hey, if I want to sell some of these figurines right now, I can get double my money or triple my money, and I see it that way. I've sold some of my figurines in the past at shows, and it's kind of surprising because people will be like, "Oh man, that's a really cool figurine," and I'll be like, "Oh yeah, it's pretty cool." And then they'll say, "Oh, how much is it?" And I'll say, "Oh, it's $25." And yeah, they'd be really into it. Now, the reason why I sold them so low is because I was looking to get rid of them anyway, and I just kind of thought to myself, like, I, like, I'll make a little profit off of it, but it's not going to be an exorbitant amount because if they wanted to, they could buy it online for about the same price at that time. So when I was selling those figurines, it was around the same time that they came out. So I just like that's the way I saw them. So there's some figurines, it's like you have them and you're like, I don't want them anymore. But all my like Dragon Ball Z figurines, my Hatsune Miku figurines, I really love those figurines. Hatsune Miku is so cute. So I have the winter Hatsune Mikus. I have the collectible Snow Miku plushes, and it's in storage, so I don't have them here. But I have the 2000, I think 2009, 2010, 2011, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I freaking thought I had 2017, but my dumb brain forgot about 2017, 18, and 19. So I have about, what, 10 figurines? I mean, 10 plushies, Snow Miku plushies. And yeah, it's like that's my little set, and I should actually get the 2017, but after I saw it, I was like, yeah, it's okay, it's okay. So I like Hatsune Miku, but I don't like Hatsune Miku as much as I used to like before. So you won't see me collect more Hatsune Miku, really, because it's just like it was a period of my life. Yeah, so. Yeah, all the plushies over here. Yeah, there's actually more plushies coming over there. But yeah, I love Hatsune Miku. Oh wait, hold on. Let me get that decency cloth on her. I don't want anybody looking at this and being like, oh my gosh. So, but I think it's a very beautiful figurine. So here's my little Bulma, glitter and glamour. She has short. She has a bikini on, okay? I just don't want to show you her busty chest. I love Bulma very much. I also love Future Trunks very much. And she's a big figurine. She's like 1 foot tall. And I remember when I got her, I was like, she's so beautiful. I love that Bulma figurine so much. Yeah, I see that Bulma figurine, and every time I look at it, I'm like, I'm so happy that I unboxed it. No, seriously, holy hand grenades. Look at the glitter and glamour Bulma. I think it's like camel bikini edition. It's so cool. Look, you can see her backside. See, she has a bikini here. See that? She's just so cool. Future Trunks is my jam, though. I love Future Trunks. I love Goku. I love Vegeta. Who else do I like on Dragon Ball Z? That's my jam, right? I don't like Frieza. I hate Perfect Cell. I hate Cell so much. I refuse to get any Cell stuff because, as you guys know, right, Cell killed people. You know, he killed future Gohan, for instance. And yeah, Cell, I believe, also killed future Trunks at one point. But yeah, that's a whole different story. I was really into Dragon Ball Z for a really long time. I didn't watch the whole series, but I was really into the whole, what was it, like the story of future Trunks or something like that. That one I actually have the VHS for that. And then the Cell saga I really liked as well. Android, I don't know. Do I like the Androids? Do I like Android 17 and 18? I do. So I'll take a free pass for Android 18 because Android 18 ended up with Krillin, right? And then ended up having a daughter called Marin, I believe. Oh, this is so long ago, you guys. I used to be into Dragon Ball Z bigly. I used to watch it all the time on, I think, Cartoon Network or something like that. Was it Cartoon Network? I don't know. Cartoon Network, I think. On TV. And yeah, this is around the time Sam Goody was around. I'm showing my age so clearly. So clearly. Yeah. No. I'm not bringing all this stuff back to New York. This stuff is staying over here. But yeah. So yeah, you got, what was it? Dr. Gero. Oh, who else was there? Android. Well, Android 16 was kind of strange. I look back at it. But yeah, I don't by principle, by my, by my own standards, I refuse to have any perfect Cell figurine here. If I came across it, I'd be like, I can't have that freaking figurine here. I'm just gonna like get rid of it. But any future Trunks, I don't have. You know what's weird? I don't have a future Trunks figurine. I just realized that. I don't have a future Trunks, and he was my like, what was it called? What's it called? Like Bishojo or something like that. Oh my gosh. Bishonen. I think that's the word for it. Yeah. He was like, I had this huge Dragon Ball Z figurine back in the day. It was future Trunks sitting. He was like sitting on a rock looking to the left. And he had his like, he was like holding his leg. So he was kind of sitting, his leg kind of, one leg like this and the other leg like this, if you guys are familiar with that. And yeah, that was some good, easy times back in high school, simpler times back then when I could just turn on the TV, watch my Dragon Ball Z, have my big Trunks wall scroll, and then have my, what was it? I had Goku, Gohan, Chi-Chi, wall scroll 2 on a sled. I got that from Toys and Joys back in Kaimaki. I'm freaking showing my age so badly over here. But yeah, I know when future Trunks, when he comes in and he's like, it's like Frieza, and then he just like, he slices him up, right? Him and his father, King Cold, right? And then, yeah, he just came in and it was like, who is this secret, Saiyan or something like that? I was like, ah! Okay, so, yeah, I'm showing my, like, anime geeky side, my little fangirl side and my little Dragon Ball Z stuff. I still love that first appearance of Future Trunks so much. I think it's very iconic, but yeah, it's just like when he came in, everyone's like, who is that? And then later on it gets revealed, right? Vegeta comes out and he's like, wait, Future Saiyan wait, she said Trunks, wait, that's my son's name. And it's just, you guys know that, right? I know. So yeah, I shouldn't buy any figurines, but I'm kind of tempted to get the Future Trunks figurine now. Oh, I know it went up in value because a lot of the Trunks figurines that I like, that was a couple years ago, and I just didn't collect them. Because like, when the Future Trunks figurine came out, that was around the time that I stopped really collecting figurines. Because it's just like I realized I had so many figurines at some point, but maybe I should make an exception for Trunks, Future Trunks. Yeah. I know, all that stuff, right? He cuts Frieza in half, and it's like you see the part. Okay, you know when like they cut Frieza, right? You know how it's like Frieza's like one piece, and then he gets the knife, and he's like, shh. Yeah, it's like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh! I can't believe I'm talking about Dragon Ball Z, and I'm like 33 years old, you guys. I shouldn't be talking about Dragon Ball Z this much. Okay, so you guys, I'll talk to you guys later. I'm gonna look at the Dragon Ball Z figurines or Trunks, future Trunks figurine now. Damn, you guys. You guys got me on this whole nostalgic whirlwind or some. Okay, see ya.